People. Que pasa, sapa, say what they do. Now the first part of this video is called Why Criminals in Jamaica Are Jamaican Criminals. And when I speak about criminals, I am speaking about robbers. I am speaking about smugglers. I am speaking about persons that feel like they can touch up people. I talk about people and them pitney. I'm also talk about the people them who want to slap with people indiscriminately. They don't realize that Jamaica and foreign, and when I say foreign, I am speaking America specifically, because it has its crime problem on the order. Jamaican thieves, Jamaican criminals don't realize that Jamaica and America is not the same. They are polar opposite. So whenever they go to America or one of those first world countries, it is a culture shock, because they did not expect to get caught, and people like me say, ignorance is bliss. So therefore, if you don't understand the circumstance or your environment, you're only going to get caught up. Now people, the difference with America and Jamaica is this. Jamaica basically strives off chaos and catastrophe. So whenever you see all sorts of crime happening in Jamaica, people, it is just a smoke screen, because people realize that you can't hustle in order. You have to hustle in a chaos and catastrophe. That means that all of this that you see, it is a distraction, it is a smoke screen for basically block out the other things that are going on in the country as it pertains to corruption of these politicians and these government officials. So people like me say, America and Jamaica, two completely different places. They are polar opposite. Now, as it pertains to America, we see them have them crime fighting on the order, because they built a foundation, and this foundation was built on their economy, because people, the more that people are suffer, is the more likely that they are going to do crime. So therefore, they make sure that people can have access to education. People can get a decent job. So therefore, if you are not lazy, more than likely you can live a decent life. So therefore, once you're educated, once you have some sort of education and you have gainful employment, more than likely the possibility or the probabilities are that you are least likely to get involved in any sort of illicit activity. Now, as it pertains to Jamaica, we see that that is the polar opposite, because education, people have education. However, they don't have access to job. There is not much gainful employment. So therefore, a lot of persons are not gainfully employed. Now, people don't get it twisted. I am not saying that everybody can find a job. However, a lot of these persons, we are speaking specifically about these new millennials, they are very lazy. So even if them can get a job, they don't want to take it, because them like the easy life, them like the quick cash, them like the scamming. They like to be involved in all sorts of hype activity. Now, when we talk about America, they build their foundation. And when I say build their foundation, they make sure that they implement the right strategy, the right foundation as it pertains to crime fighting. So therefore, the P0L, may I talk about the detective, may I talk about the FBI, the CIA, all sorts of different crime organizations. They are well schooled, they are well trained, and they are professional for the most part. And people don't get it wrong. I am not saying that there are no sorts of bad seeds out there. Me just say it is in the minority. And when we speak about Jamaica, the bad seeds are in the majority. So we are talking about most of the persons that are involved in crime fighting. They themselves are criminals. Point blank and period. Now, one of the major things that is hindering crime fighting in Jamaica is that people have that no snitch policy. That means an informer for DEAD. While in America, it is polar opposite. They have a snitch culture. That means that any and everybody feel like it is their responsibility, it is their obligation to talk if them see any sort of crime occurring in their neighborhood. So people, even if you have a neighbor and you and him good and you babysit him, pick them, the next day, if him hear say you are involved in anything or him see a picture upon the news, he is going to call, and whenever the news come to your house, he is going to be out there and say, I thought that he was a good guy, Rete, Lele, lay, blue, blah, bling. Them not care. And that is because they know that if they talk, more than likely, nobody is going to, we are speaking about response, nobody is going to take them out. Unlike in Jamaica, if you talk, more than likely, the same people you talk on, the same popo that are investigating, they will tell the people, say, you talk. And the next thing you know, you end up down a Dovecat, point blank and period. Now, one of the major problems that hinders Jamaica crime fighting strategy is that we see that these investigators, these popo, they are very nonchalant about their job. They are very irresponsible. So therefore, more than likely, if a crime is committed today, if the person get away from the scene of the crime, more than likely he is going to get away forever, because the popo, the investigators, are not going to give any sort of or do any sort of follow-up operation. They are not going to come back to the neighborhood, and even if them come back to the neighborhood and start to ask questions, everybody has shut them door, everybody has shut them window, everybody mum. So people, how do you expect to get better if you yourself, as a legal law-abiding taxpaying citizen, and people don't get it twisted, don't get it misconstrued, if you're a legal law-abiding citizen, it is your job, it is your obligation to talk. However, if you see things going wrong, you did not help. You did not help the popo, so therefore you have no one else to blame but yourself. Especially and specifically in these garrisons, where these people are always taken up for the bad men. May I talk about the dander, may I talk about the shooter, may I talk about people that are involved in all sorts of illicit activities. So people, you basically get what you put in, and if you put in ish, you are going to get back ish, point blank and period. And when I speak about follow-up as a crime fighting strategy, I am speaking specifically to the case as it pertains to those 3 constables from Montego Bay, St. James, that were busted the other day in Atlanta and Charlotte, North Carolina. Now people, if you realize somebody put pressure upon them, when one of them was held on the 19th of June, and people, don't get it twisted, don't get it misconstrued, this was not really a joint operation by Jamaica and also USA, because the truth and the facts that USA does not really trust Jamaica because them knows that these popo are corrupt, and I am speaking even the top people, even the top popo, they are corrupt. So therefore, if them get any sort of hint, the USA mindset is this: if them give them any sort of hint, then they are going to tell the people, listen, they are watching you, eyes are on you, rete, lele, blue, blah, bling. However, in this case, Jamaica did not have any other choice, because they know that they are under scrutiny of the US. So therefore, they understand the position that they are in. And if them flip up, and if they did not coordinate the effort, them know that America would cut off all sorts of grant that is going toward the popo force. And for those of you that don't know, Jamaica gets a lot of sponsorship, a lot of grant from first world countries, America, Canada, UK, rete, lele, blue, blah, bling. So therefore, even if they want to be corrupt, they know that there are repercussions and there are going to be a lot of implication as it pertains to world organization. People are going to say Jamaica corrupt, which they are. So people, when you have a bad reputation, you basically have to play by the cards. You have to basically play straight, especially when you are getting sponsorship from US. Point blank and period. Now people, as it pertains to that latest case with the 3 constables, like I said, we saw that Jamaica basically started to operate or started to cooperate with the US after the 19th, because once that first person was busted, and them I said, hold on a minute, it seems like something else is on the way. So therefore they pressure this person, they pressure this first or 2 first people, and people, they started to squeal, they started to give up information. So people, it only shows you, when you pressure these criminals, you don't just try to hold one and just call it a day and call it the end of the investigation. No, you want to get from the root, you want to find out the distribution route, you want to find where it is going to the source, and also where it is going to end up the destination. And that is exactly what the US did, because them basically clamped down upon 1 or 2 of them, and them said, listen, give us the information and we are going to give you some sort of sweet plea deal. So therefore they let everybody come in. 1 come in on the 19th, or 2 came in on the 19th, and then on the Tuesday, and then on the Wednesday again, and everybody got caught. We are speaking about with 8 kilo and people. What is so sad? One of the ladies said that she got $2,000. So people, I am just showing you how these popo, and when I speak about popo and corrupted cops, it is mostly the rookies, it is mostly younger cops, because truth and the fact is that most of these elder cops, they are seasoned and them understand the repercussion. They understand that they're always under surveillance. However, these popo, I am speaking about these young popo, them coming at the force and they are so desperate. They are so green. They are so licky. So therefore, the first opportunity that they get, they are going to take it, no matter what the consequences are. It is as if they don't think. And people, when I think about the fact that this man basically rubbed vinegar over them, I talk about the cocoa, and thought that he was going to pass through customs, thought that he was going to pass through immigration. So people, the point that I am trying to make is that you cannot use old school methods and expect to pass a place, me I talk about like America, that is so technologically advanced, as it pertains to dog, as it pertains to all sorts of machine, as it pertains to all sorts of high-tech things, for basically they take you. Them can't watch it, they are seasoned, they are trained, them know how to watch people reaction and if you are sweating and how you are acting in the line. People, these are persons that are professional, while as it pertains to Jamaica, and I am not saying that they are not any good professionals in a Jamaica. However, most of the time they are distracted. Them either they on WhatsApp or they're either cussing out somebody on the phone on WhatsApp. Point blank and period. So the point that I am trying to make is that there is no sort of dedication. Everybody is hustling the system. Most popo and most, we are speaking about security force in Jamaica, they are distracted. They are always doing something else, so therefore they are not focused. And if you are not focused, you are not going to do very well as it pertains to crime fighting. Point blank and period. Now, as it pertains to slap away in America, people, they are very serious. There is no such thing. I mean, there is such a thing as a cold case. However, every case, no matter how whole, especially when it comes to slap away, it is always on the forefront. It is always being investigated. It is not swept under the rug. However, in Jamaica, it is the polar opposite. So therefore, if somebody gets slapped away today, the popo go on the scene, and if they don't find the person, and if nobody give any sorts of information, more than likely the possibility or the probabilities are this person or the person that is a suspect is going to get away. We are speaking about forever. And people, I am not saying that Jamaica don't solve any sorts of crime, because they do, but me just say it is very easy to get away. And if you know that you can do something and get away, you are more likely going to do it, because you know that the possibility or the probabilities are you will get away. Point blank and period. However, as it pertains to America, they're always going to be on your case. They're always going to be on your ASS. Point blank and period. And when you talk about things like jump over people fence, me I talk about especially picnic fence. People, you're not going to get away with it like they do in Jamaica, because we see that there's a whole lot of perverts in Jamaica. We are talking about some old man, we are touch up some little picnic, and we are also speaking about some man that are jumping over the fence of women. They can easily get away with it. However, in America and other places like that, it is treated as a very serious crime, which it is. However, Jamaica, not so much. So anyways, people, the moral of the story is this. I am not saying that people or persons are not criming in America and these first world countries. However, you have to move stellar. You have to move under the radar. You have to almost move like the mob, or else you are going to get caught up. However, in Jamaica, we see we have a lot of dunce thugs. We see that we have a lot of persons that don't really have any sort of sense. We are speaking about the dumbest of the dumbest. We are speaking about the worst of the worstest. Point blank and period. So therefore, when they go into a system, they are going to get a culture shock. They are going to get a shock. They are going to get a monkey wrench in their program. And people, that is why we see a lot of persons that do stuff in America and them run come to Jamaica, them still get tracked down. We are speaking about even people that are slapping away their wives, even people that are touching up like a picnic over America and run come back to Jamaica in a two-toes. Sooner or later, they are going to get caught, because like me say, there is never a cold case, even though the case is cold. Point blank and period. So people, the point that I am trying to make is that as it pertains to these Jamaican criminals, they are too hype. Them like to show off themselves, and like the saying goes, he that exalted himself shall be abased, and the higher that the monkey climbs is the more that he is exposed. So therefore, when these persons are out there, especially these persons that are hustling, may I talk about the drug dealer, As soon as them start to get some sort of money, them buy a big mansion, them buy 10, we are talking about expensive foreign whip. They are also flossing all sort of jewelry. And what makes it worse is that they don't realize that the walls have eyes or the hills have ears, because they are always showing off themselves in the club. They are always dashing all sort of champagne upon themselves. Them a be them dog in a champagne, and they don't realize that the feds are always watching. The feds are always on alert. Me I talk about red alert. So people, it is a recipe for failure, not a recipe for success. So that is why you see a lot of Jamaicans always end up back home where I talk about the potty style. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like I said, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.